Guys, if you're a fan of the podcast and you want to support the podcast and you want to see the podcast go to the next level, you can do so by going to www.patreon.com/SLY GUY Podcast. We're leaving the trusty old studio and we're going to digs in you. And if you want to help contribute to that, you can do that by signing up to the Patreon. Now, you're probably going to yourself, that's all well and good, but what do I get in return? I will tell you. You get a weekly guest episode of the podcast every Friday, without fail, on Patreon. As well as that, you get the extra SLY Guy podcast every Monday. You get Dog Walks with Davey, you get bonus video content, you get stand-up shows, you get the works, and you also get this podcast ad-free, a day early, on a Wednesday. All for the cost of as little as £2. There you go. As well as that, you get access to shows early before the rest. The tickets go on sale over there first. The patrons get the privileges. That sounds good. So if you want the privileges and you want to be a patron, head on over to patreon.com/SLY GUY Podcast. Guys, you might be able to see this or hear it, but my bum is squeaking because it's less than 2 months till I bring my new show, Bits and Pieces, to the Ulster Hall. I can't wait for this. I'm telling you now, it's going to be my best hour to date. So if you liked Pillow Talk last year and you want to see something funnier, get your tickets to Bits and Pieces. Ben's put up a wee picture here to sort of show where the tickets are at now. If you want to get one of those sweet seats, go now, get the tickets via the link in the description, and I will see you there. Guys, we're bringing stand-up to the Strand Arts Centre once again. After the last sold-out show, which was 10 out of 10, we're back, and hey, is this lineup stacked, as they say in France? We say bon monsieur. It's me hosting. You've got Kieran Bartlett, Johnny Bowe, and the headliner, Tim McGarry. That's not actually his name. It's not like a wrestler. He's not called the headliner Tim McGarry. He's headlining this show and his name is Tim McGarry. And if you want to get tickets to that, hey, link in the description. Go get your tickets now. It's bring your own. It's only 15 quid. It's a class night out and you'll be getting one of those stacked lineups you're going to see. So get your tickets now. Get them. Let's go. Let's have a good time. Bring your own. Let's have a party. I don't know what that means, but you can do that in the audience if you want, whatever that means. The SLY Guy Podcast is always brought to you in association with Modest Beer. So if you, like me, are a modest guy and you want the modest beer to go along with your modesty, you can head on over to www.modestbeer.co.uk to find out more. And if you think drinking beers not suffice, if you want more modest in your life, you can get merch as well. You get t-shirts, hats. I nearly said other gear, but that sounds like it's a drug reference, and as far as I'm aware, there's no drugs there. Just good beer, good merch, and a good time. And if you want to support Modest Beer and follow them on all the other social media platforms, just at Modest Beer. Simples.
I'm the SLY Guy.
Hello and welcome to the SLY Guy Podcast. Guys, we're back again with another guest episode of the podcast. Now, this guest is, the most popular guest on the Patreon guest episodes. He started off as a guest. This is a true story. He started off as a guest on the podcast. We had so much fun together. He became a recurring guest. We had so much fun as a recurring guest. He became a co-host on a separate podcast, which is available only on Patreon. That's right. It's Psychic Glenn. And what's the podcast available only on Patreon? It's called The Psychic, who is him, and The Stand-Up, who is me. So in this week's podcast, we chat about that. We chat about a lot of pretty cool, bizarre, interesting things, as well as Glenn talking about his book, Finding Wendy, which is available now on Amazon.com. And again, listen, if you're like going, oh no, I can't be arsed going on to Amazon.com, typing in Glenn Gordon, Find Wendy, and you're like, oh, I just need to get it straight away. Hey, the link is in the bio down below. So go there, check that out, support Glenn, support the podcast, and more importantly, sit back, relax, listen to it in your ears, watch it with your eyes, do whatever you want to do, however you consume your podcasts, consume it and enjoy it. This week's SLY Guy Podcast with Psychic Glenn. Glenn, welcome back to the podcast.
Alright, Dave.
You're an old hand at it now.
An old dab hand at it.
Yeah. For those that don't know or haven't seen Glenn, for a start, where have you been? Like, what's been going on? This is now our fourth or fifth time
podcast
together, but this is our first time publicly on the SLY Guy Podcast.
Yeah.
Because we've been trying stuff out. We've done a Patreon before. It's been a nice time. People liked it. We do our own wee podcast now, the Psychic and the Stand-Up, which is, we're trying to record, so there's one episode out now and there's going to be one out in a week or so, and then we'll keep them going probably once or twice a month,
Yeah.
and see how it goes until we get bought, until Spotify buys it or whatever.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we'll sell it. And other than that, this is the first real public Sly Guy podcast. So we're coming out as, I want to say, a couple. Could you say?
Sort of, a couple.
Uh-huh. How does that feel? Sorry, I'm warm. I've been running about all morning chasing people about the place, and now I feel like I'm just sitting in, I'm relaxing, and I'm feeling good now.
Feeling like a king.
Yes, I'm feeling like a king, and you're looking like a king.
Oh, thank you very
Once
much,
again,
Dave.
fantastic
Well,
shirt.
I wanted to wear my Technicolor shirt.
I see, nice, and it's a good look. It's very summery. You got a tan about you too. You've been out and about.
Yeah, well, a wee bit.
Yeah.
Just a wee bit.
Any holidays planned?
Well, I think I'm going to go to Mykonos in September.
Oh, nice.
With a friend from America, he's going over there with his sister, so...
Nice.
Oh,
I've heard it's a pretty wild time. Have you been before?
No, never.
No.
Never.
See, I watched the show on. I don't know what was on, but it was Lindsay Lohan had
Yes.
a house
Oh, I did
or a
watch
beach
that.
party, and it was great fun.
She was terrible in it.
Yeah, but
It's all these bases and all, I don't know.
what do you think that is? Just nerves or
Facial spasms.
right? Okay, you don't think that's brought on by anything?
Nerves, maybe, bad nerves.
Any like white nerves?
Pet hates.
Yeah, because I definitely thought like she looks like. What was her guy called? He was 10 out of 10. Her sidekick that ran the club, super bitch.
Oh, aye.
What was his name? Do you remember? He was great. Oh, fuck, I used to love him on it.
She wasn't having much fun, I don't think.
No, but he took over. He was just the
Yeah.
boss of the whole thing. But would you go there? Would you go to Lindsay Lohan's club?
Oh, I would. Definitely, yes.
Are you a fan of hers?
Well, yes, I like the Parent Trap, absolutely.
Nice. See, that's a sad indictment of where things have ended up. For her, that the one thing people know is the Parent
And Mean
Trap.
Girls, too.
Yeah, I didn't even know she was in Mean Girls.
Mean Girls, brilliant. I have to watch it.
That's not? No, what's the one about the lawyer? Is that Mean Girls? No.
No.
Miss Congeniality, is that it? Legally Blonde.
No way. Oh, Erin Brockovich.
Right.
Meet Erin Brockovich,
Okay.
yes, and it turned out it was your woman off the Housewives. Her husband was to do with it too. Erica Jane, yeah. I watch all them Housewives, and I actually sent one of the original housewife, Vicky, who was the very first one. I sent her a copy of my book
Nice. And when did
Yes.
you do that?
last week.
And have you heard back from her?
So I've spoke to her.
Where
and-
did you send it?
Well, I sent it to her company.
Hold on, how do you get in touch with her? Tell me
Instagram,
direct.
and do you
Right,
want to
okay.
know something? See, for 10 years, I've probably stalked this woman, and it's a gag. She's only just replied to me lately.
And why do you think that is?
Don't know. Just
Has
wait.
she heard you've been on the podcast? Do you think she's listened
don't know.
to the episodes and gone to herself?
Well,
"No, I'm a
curiosity
fan"?
kills the cat, you see. So let's
see.
put it out there.
And what did she say?
She just said thank you, because I said I'm loving the new programme you're on. Because she's funny. I love seeing all them women go mad.
Yeah, see, that's one of those shows that I haven't crossed over into watching. Like me and her sometimes watch shows together, but usually what'll happen is Catherine will be watching a show, I'll come in and be like, "Fuck, what's this shit?"
Yeah.
And I'll fart about and I'll come back in, it'll still be on, and I'll ask, "So was she not having a fight? What's going on here?" And then I'll sit and watch it. Like Teen Mom is something I've got into watching. I got into Love Island that way as well.
No, what was really good that I watched? Marcella.
Oh, with your woman in it?
She was she's absolutely gorgeous. Like, and I'm not even that way, but Anna Frey's beautiful.
Yeah.
And in that last season, it was about all these Irish brothers, and they were all
Yeah.
like, it was brilliant. Brilliant.
Hold on, let me see.
Reminded me of growing up on the estate.
I don't want to give this out in case anyone hasn't watched Marcella yet. Wasn't it a bit weird though, the way she went from season 2 to just...
Yeah.
I didn't really get why she did that.
Yeah.
And then how the crossover was.
I think she has some sort of like disorder or something, doesn't she?
Was definitely something up with her.
Yeah, yeah.
But the last series was, I thought, a bit weird. Now, where did that finish? Is there going to be more?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm
It was
afraid
good.
like more.
Do you ever watch Luther?
No, I haven't watched that.
See,
no.
Luther would be my favourite.
Yeah.
And the last episode of the last series, you're like, well, how does this end? But I think I know.
Yeah,
I think I figured
yeah.
it out. But I think it'll be a while until it's out, like, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it was a weird flip between Marcella and The Real Housewives.
Yeah.
You know, what made you go there?
Well, I watch all. Well, The Real Housewives is like, for me, it's a physical manifestation of the goddess energy on earth.
The Real Housewives.
Why is it not Real Husbands?
Well,
Because it would be boring, Dave. It would be the same Playboy fucking slippers.
true. I guess that's fair.
And
but
they
also,
just get on like, I don't know, girls.
yeah, but it's always wild, and they're always super bitches, and they always fight.
This is it.
What's your favourite Real Housewife? Like, which show?
Well, I like Beverly Hills and I like Orange County.
So you're a California guy?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, I like New York too, I do, but I think I draw it at that. That's enough now.
Yeah.
Well, I like the Sydney one, but then, or not Sydney, Sydney, they cancelled it. But
Yeah. Was there a UK one, wasn't there? With like
there's a
football?
few UK ones, yeah. Actually, a girl I know, actually, she's another psychic medium called Deborah Davies. She was actually on it.
As in, as a wife?
She was on
or
one for one season, the last season actually, and she said she wouldn't go back. So
just a night. Is it fake? Or do you know any? Can you tell?
well, I do think
behind
it's a
the
wee
scenes?
bit, not fake, but surface level.
Yeah, it's like Made in Chelsea, isn't it? Do you think
Yeah.
they go, this is how
Yeah,
we do it, and then this is how we want you to do it?
yeah.
You know? But I've never got into that. That's the one thing. I think if I get into that, that's me done. I will have no life if I get into that, because we've done that. What's another one? Married at First Sight's another one we watch, that Catherine watched, and then I
Is that
just
how
got
she got you
into.
down the aisle?
No, she actually drugged me.
Did
She
she?
drugged me and got me
Lucky you.
down the aisle that way. And no, actually,
That was a good day.
I don't know how she did. I don't actually know. I think
Must be love.
I know. Fuck, it must have been.
Must have
Yeah,
been.
I must have just loved her. Glenn.
See
I must
now?
have just.
She's your Wendy.
I know she is, but that's what happened. We weirdly, without sounding like a fucking big wet cloth here, I sort of knew instantly. I don't know if
You're a
this is,
psychic.
but is this something right again with the psychic powers? Do you feel like the word powers?
Yeah.
Would you use that word, or do you think when I say that, you go, shut up, you ignorant idiot?
Powers is correct, I suppose. Yeah.
Right. Do you work in vibes and like energies?
Everything is frequency based. Yes.
Because
definitely.
whenever we met, I don't know what it was, but there was just something I thought we just click.
An energetic exchange.
Yeah, and it was weird because I just done a gig on a hot summer's day. I was really sweaty. I felt uncomfortable. Usually, if I was that sweaty, I would like hide, and I would like, I don't want anyone to see me. She also sweaty, but had like fake tan on, and for whatever reason, we were just joking about it, chatting, and it just seemed,
Yeah.
good. And in that moment, I did think to myself, like a stalker and a psycho, this story would make for a good bit in a wedding speech.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I did it in a wedding speech.
See now.
So I would not have believed, and I hate to use the phrase love at first sight, but you know what I mean? But
It's
I
like
thought,
maybe it was the girls before they came, and they rendered just together before they came to rages of all your money.
yeah. Because I suppose they're inside in some form, aren't they, already?
And they're there all along.
Maybe it could be.
They've
But
had you, Dave.
yeah. But like now I think, that was it. Because initially I was going to propose anyway.
Yeah.
I had planned where we were going to do it. We were going on holiday to France.
Yeah.
I thought, right, we'll go. I know a spot that'll be quite romantic and whatever. Then when she got pregnant, and I was like, well, we can't fly because it was too close to the,
Yeah.
so I was like, I had to think of a plan B. So we did it. And where eventually I proposed was outside of public toilets.
Well,
So, and it was all, I had a
at
different
least
plan in
you
mind.
at least you made your feelings known publicly.
Yeah. But you know what she said to me? What are you doing? What are you doing? I was like,
Did you embarrass her?
what does it look like? No, because I was going to embarrass her. If I hadn't, that's why I had to do it outside a public toilet, because we were getting closer and closer to being like, in Portrush where the Remora is, we were very close to being outside there.
Yeah.
And I thought, I can't do it in front there because everyone will be gawping out the window and she'll
Yeah.
be scundered. So I thought I wanted to go down like on this wee outcrop into the sea. But then she was obviously heavily pregnant and was like, I don't want to walk down there. And I was like, fuck, shit, had to think
Do you know
of my
what's
feet.
really, really interesting is, it just come into my head there, see, whenever I was in England, a girl that I'd read, she actually had sold one of her horses to King Mohammed, or whatever it is in Dubai, but her husband actually came up to her and said to her, put his hand right on her and went, see you, missus, I can change your life. And her partner had smashed her phone and all that night, and she went with the man, and I was 20 years older than her, like, but they're very, very happy, like.
Yeah,
It's weird. I actually said to her, do men actually say that to women? Here, I can change your life, love. She said to me, yeah. I thought to myself, that's beautiful. Imagine a man even saying, now I can change your life. Beautiful.
But then other people would be like, who the fuck's he think he
Who's he
is?
think he is?
Who's he think he is? I can change life. Well, what's wrong with my life as it is?
Exactly. Exactly.
But then you get these fellas like, maybe the guy like smashing the phone and stuff. That's about, nah, you don't want that.
No.
And you think that was the catalyst that made her go, let's
Well,
get my life
yeah,
changed?
because she's... Well, yeah, to be honest, because she takes care of him. I've really seen the dynamic in fair play to her. She takes care of
Is
him.
that because he's so much older that she has
Well,
to?
be fair, I feel like it's because she's a big daddy's girl. To be
Right.
honest, she has one son and she has her daddy living there and him, and he's older, he isn't well, God love him. But I just want to say, see, sometimes money is the root of all evil, really, when it comes to families and things. It's sad, really. You think sometimes money people are more... They're not, they're worse off, kind of, mentally.
Yeah, because I actually was I think with money, isn't there the temptation to like still power families still exist? So people are like, you should marry him because of who he is.
Well, it's not that there. It's
Why
just, I think whenever you've got maybe a terminal illness and your own children aren't even speaking to you, but they're waiting to get this.
See, that happens an awful lot. I think
does.
whenever I die, I'm just going to say, leave my stuff, whatever it is. So my one daughter can have this mic, one daughter can have, Mike, they can share the camera and they can split the sound recording.
See?
That's all I have. And then you'll have to visit them.
I will, of course.
Because you'll have to just be the go-between.
They'll have me Rob too.
And then I'll say to them, listen, we'll chat. You can pass it on to them.
Yeah.
And then and you can tell them if they fucking fight over money, which they'll probably be raging and be like, fuck, my dad owes loads of debts. We have to fucking pay all his debts. I'll be like, hey, don't worry about it, guys. But no, I just think it's a bit gross, isn't it? Like, I think once you die, just don't worry about the money. You know, what'll be, will be. And that's why people should do wills.
You know what I see an awful lot, Dave, is when people die and then people fight over the houses and physical things, and I feel like sometimes that's really bad luck. Like, say I was not coping right, my grandparents died and I had to live in their house and all just because I couldn't cope, I'd probably end up being all the way they were. Because I feel like they give you the skin you're in, they give you the DNA. You're not meant to go back and recreate the old. That's where your memories are.
Yeah.
You cannot recreate your childhood. You cannot recreate what you've already had.
Is that like whenever, I suppose on a lesser scale, like if people try to force things too hard to be like they were, say you have a great night out or a great something or other, and people are like, let's do this again. It's never the same.
I'm going to say something I don't know. I had a wee thought when I was meditating, and it really is that there's only a few actual minds on earth that really run earth, and it's all ideals, and everyone else is just a physical manifestation of those minds. And I feel like those the same people that live for the weekend.
Yeah.
The same weekend is pure mate. Do you know, same people don't actually know how to relax. They're holding on for dear life in case their brain goes too fast and they enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
Them sort of people, they try to repeat everything over and over.
See, I definitely have seen, like for example, we have, like, say, a great nights out, and it's been cracking, we've gone this, and it's just been like a, let's go out tonight, spontaneous, and then the next time they're like, let's go to here again, and you go, and it's like, that's not as good as it was.
No, it's never the same.
It never is, and it's never ever the case, and then you're like, oh fuck, that was a bit shit. But see, I living for the weekend, I think it's definitely a change that happens, because I used to be all over that. Like, see, when I first started my job, and I was just like working the 9 to 5, and I had money in my pocket for the first time. I was renting a house with my mates. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Or see, now I get to the weekends because I'm self-employed. I work most weekends, so I don't really know when. Like, that's why when I'm going on holidays,
at least you get to go to 2 bars.
Yeah.
To do your gigs.
Because that was another thing. I had not an epiphany, because this sounds very negative, and this is not how it's meant. But the other week was like, I don't have a social life. Literally do not have a social life. I just go out and yes, I'm doing gigs with people who are my friends, but still my job, you know. So this is why when I'm going holidays next week, maybe just keeping my computer for emails maybe once every few mornings. Yeah. But I'm just totally switching off other than that. And that's why this podcast, this is going to be magic, because this is going to be out in like 2 weeks.
Yo.
So this is why we're able to bulk record, and it's nice. Yeah. But I just want to be able to switch off, because I think sometimes you can overcomplicate, and if you overthink, you don't sleep, you get stressed about stupid things. It's bollocks, you know. So I'm trying to not meditate, because I don't think I'd ever get peace to meditate, but I'm definitely trying to switch off, positive in, negative out.
Trying to relax,
you know. Speaking of relax, do you watch Love Island?
No, I don't. Well, I've watched it before. I have watched it before, I won't lie. Whatever season that fella John was in it, and he was beautiful. But no, I haven't really watched it. Because
I was going to ask you about it today, because there's a guy in it, they've just doing, you know, the Casa Amor with the Switch? Yeah. And like, there's a lot of chat about this guy Jax, and he's been a bit of a bad boy. I was going to see, you know, if there's anything there, if you could tell, but since you haven't watched it, you've ruined the whole segment. I've ruined it. They've ruined it with their subtle horn. There you go. Yeah. Their subtle horn? There's nothing. Oh, horning. Okay. Mm-hmm. I thought you said the subtle horn. Subtle horn. Nothing subtle about this guy's horn. It's out. Oh, is it? I must go on and have a wee look. Well, it's not out, but once you've seen them, you've seen them all, Dave. That's true, I guess, isn't it? Mm-hmm. They're not a pretty sight. Is there anything? Here's the thing: is there anything in them looking like mushrooms? Is there anything? Is that something to do with the earth? It is like a mushroom, yeah, a wee bit, like when you think of the fungus. Yeah. Oh wow. That's only the ones that don't wash themselves. Yeah. So more importantly, let's ask a question. How have you felt since obviously you came on as a guest on the Patreon podcast, which is still over on Patreon? We actually made that public, so it's public. It's out and about. You can watch that on the channel. But since we did a podcast together, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. We then have done another. We were going to just do another episode similar to what we did, but with our friend Aaron Butler. Yeah. We ended up getting him in, and I think we did what I said, and I put it on record again, was my favourite ever podcast. I thought it was funny. I thought it was meaningful. Yep. And how have you felt since now you're now a bit of a podcaster now? You know, you're on the scene. I feel good, because anybody that's watched it, and even my friend in America, he said to me, Glenn, you look very comfortable. You look like you're meant to be there. Yeah.
I was like,
nice. But no, you were, that was it. The first one was well received. The one with Aaron was tremendous, and then we had Shane Todd in. It'll probably be out by now.
Yeah.
By you listening to this. So it was a fun episode, and we actually have a few more lined up. So, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, if it still gets the interest, that we'll just make that public as well. We'll just have another.
Yeah.
And again, it'll probably
keep watching, keep sharing.
Yeah. So, but so how are you enjoying it? What do you think? Do you get anything out of it other than just crack?
It's a great change from doing readings. I've always worked for myself because I have ADHD, because I've never really been able to fit in and work with other people. But this is a breath of fresh air, because I could talk for England, but it's different whenever you're just reading people constantly over and over again. It is mentally draining, so I do enjoy it. I do enjoy being able to sit and just yarn. Yeah,
and do you find that is something that tires you out? This is the reading. Like, for example, I remember a couple of weeks ago I did 3 podcasts in a day, and I came home and you thought I'd just run a marathon. I was busted. And then obviously at home she's like, how are you tired? Just been talking all day. I'm like, it's still energy, you know what I mean? It's
an exchange of energy, and I have to give people my energy. So
yeah. And do you, well, let me get this right, because again, every time we speak I learn a little bit more, to the point that if sometimes, you know, if I say to people, oh, fud yourself on, we do this. I'm getting another comedian to come in. He was a guest on the podcast, and I said, and he was like, well, you know, what is a psychic? And before I'd have been like, well, I can kind of say now. And then he sort of said to me, he was like, no, we're going to do a podcast with him. I'll not say who it is, but you can figure it out if you listen. But he said that when his mum was terminally ill, she went to see a psychic, and he said that whether he believes in it or not, or he buys into it or not, he said she took a lot of comfort out of it. And he was like, you know, no matter what it is, he's open to it and sees there's, you know, the positivity in it. So with that, the question I want to ask is, you know, the Green Mile, the film, where your man says he can take people's like negative energy in them, obviously, like,
can I transmutate it? Yes.
But do you, when you're reading somebody, do you ever
pluck them inside out?
Yeah. And then are you just not?
That's the whole thing, is the alchemize whatever darkness somebody has been through, to alchemize it and turn it into light. If a being is dark and in darkness, it's very easy to illuminate them.
And is there ever a time where you're doing that with somebody and you just go, I just can't, there's nothing I can do to clear you of whatever this is? Or
well, it hasn't happened lately, like, but it has happened before. Some people, I can't do the work for them as they would love me to.
Yeah. And how often do you then, obviously as a, you know, self-employed guy, would you ever have someone in and you just straight away go, they're wasting their time? Would you go, you're wasting your time? Or would you be like,
I'll tell them, I'll say, like, you are not going to listen, this is what you're going to do, but to be fair, you need to do this for your own life experience. There's no getting out of living.
Because sometimes I'll do gigs, right? I'll go to them and I'll know they'll be shit, and I'll be like, I'll still do it anyway. Yeah. Because, you know what I mean? Whereas I should probably go, nah, shouldn't do this. But
high interest in your life, that's basically it, like. You know?
Yeah. So what do you have on this week? Because I'll have to apologise, because we were supposed to do a guest episode with Mickey Bartlett, and he cancelled on us.
He didn't. He did. He heard it was me, and he was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm raging.
What is your vibe off Mickey since he's not
here?
Well,
I didn't really know Mickey. I swear I don't really know half of any of these people, really, just until I'm told. But my sister actually knew who he was, and my sister was all biz. She said, he is a gig.
Right, okay. So did you know anyone before?
Well, I knew Shane Todd a wee bit, like. Maybe I was jealous of him a wee bit.
Why would you be jealous?
Because his face is everywhere.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you were going to say because his face is... I'm glad you didn't go as far as his face is handsome. Because that would mean too much. I couldn't cope with that.
Well, he is handsome.
Do you think so? Do you think he is handsome?
I'm being honest. Or his energy is actually beautiful whenever he's soft, and his energy is very, very soft, and I feel like he comes across as this funny guy all the time, but he's actually a bit of a genius on the inside.
No. Right. I was with you. You there. I was happy to go along with it. I thought you were going to say he was a nice guy.
He's a food fetish, Dave.
He has a food fetish?
Yeah. I knew by looking at him.
So Shane Todd is a food fetish.
Yes,
that I'll go with.
I'll
go with that. But the word genius, I'm not comfortable with that word being used.
Well, Dave,
sweetheart.
He sees the potential in you, so he must be a genius.
Well, maybe he can just see. Maybe.
This is that.
But yeah, the word genius I'm not comfortable with. And I do want to say that on the episode with Aaron, you, like, I don't want to say you tore him a new one,
scalped his arse.
You scalped him. But I thought you were a bit reserved with Shane. I
was a wee bit nervous.
Yeah, but I feel like now once you're I don't want to say unleashed, but once you're comfortable, you should just
I'm going to you need to get him back on,
because you didn't tell me you had a foot fetish, and I think
I didn't tell him I have webbed toes either, but I didn't want him to blow a load everywhere, so
well, Well, yeah, that's something I've not known about him. But
Okay.
and can you tell anything about me, other than like that? Because I feel like you've told me
I feel like you like to be dominated. All right, in the bedroom, you absolutely like to be nanny spanked down. You like to be controlled.
I mean, I don't think I've not done anything like that per se. You know, haven't been like held down or fucking tied up or anything.
Catherine, go. Yeah.
She'll like that because she likes to be the boss out of the bedroom, like generally speaking.
Yeah. But do you not think she does a better job, Dave?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like as much as like I was speaking to somebody and just when we were getting coffee there, and I met her. It was a girl I went to school with, and I hadn't seen her in a while. And she was there with had her daughter, and we're just the general chit chat. And she was sort of like saying about her husband. It's like he always has the fun with the kids, whereas I'm organising stuff and doing this.
Yeah,
that's very much like the kids will like come to me for hugs and whatever, and like they love their daddy. They definitely do. They love their mummy too, but I'm the fun one.
You just say yes to keep them quiet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like but I like to discipline them too. But
when, Dave?
No, it doesn't really work. But I like to. You know.
Do they discipline you?
In what way?
Do you go in maybe with a mountain full of your own problems and then have it all absorbed by them and their?
Yeah, well, I don't really like. I don't think at the minute. Now I want to touch wood here very much because you know where the phrase "touch wood" comes from, about the knocking evil spirits out of pixies. You heard that? But I, at the minute, don't feel too bad. You know, I don't think there's anything that I'm going, oh fuck, stressing about. You know, I'm like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think that's all right. But there have been times now. Yeah, maybe recently where like I've had a lot of like the stuff that we're working on. There's something that we can't really speak about yet, but you know we're trying again. There's a negotiation process trying to make something happen, and I felt a lot of pressure because I was like not negotiating, but like trying to arrange something on behalf of you, me, other people, and I was like stressing that I didn't want to make balls up of it for everyone.
Yeah.
You know? So that was a lot of pressure. And then Catherine was like, right, we go in the park. And I was like, just give me 2 seconds to send this email. And she was like, what way are you speaking to me? And I was like, I didn't think I was speaking to her anyway badly, but I was stressed out. And that was the last time I think I've been stressed out because she beat the shit out of me.
See?
You know, so... But that's it. But at the minute, I feel alright. Like, I feel okay. I'm positive about things. Because, again, I'd be a massive one for dwelling on maybe not being where I want to be sooner. Yeah. I'm bloody impatient. But, you know, if I look back again, when I left my job to now, if I had to tell myself where I was, I'd be like, I'm happy. You know, but see, because you keep plowing on. I just like things. When I have an idea, I want it agreed to be done now.
Yes, exactly.
You know, when I write something, I want it agreed.
Yep. Because
I think what happened to me, I had a deal in place with a, I think I've spoken about this before. I don't want to name the place, but it's a I don't know, is it a garage? Is it a supermarket? It rhymes with smar, right?
Yeah.
And they had agreed a fee with myself and another comedian that rhymes with Shmee and Snod, right? And we had this deal in place to do a series of adverts on the TV. So 2 TV adverts, load of online stuff, to remake a classic advert, but in the modern day. Now, I think we were about 30 at the time, and they wanted me to play a schoolboy. Now, I looked like this when I was 30, with a bit more hair, and a bit darker, right? But I'm not passing as a schoolboy. And we kind of fell out with that idea, and we were offered a fee, right? And it was a good fee at the time. It would have been enough for me to leave my job, right? And I got excited. I'd already spent all the money in my head. I'd already been, this will be the launch pad for this. This will open doors here, there, and everywhere. Fell through, and I was so gutted because I'd already in my head thought, you know, taking this money or spend it here, this is what's going to happen. So as now, I do not get excited about anything until like I'm on a set, or there's a contract signed, or anything like that. So with this, I'm very much like, I want to make this. You want to, everyone else does. The people that we're talking to want to make it. And it was getting to the point where it was like, there are a few wee stumbling blocks here, and I was going, but these are stumbling blocks we can get over, so that rather than go, this is a problem, go, what do we have to do to get past that? And that's where I was sort of going, just give me an answer and I can chill out. And thankfully it looks like it's going to be happening, which, by the way, I think if it does happen, I think it might be the most fun thing I've done. I think it'll be hilarious, and I think it'll be interesting, and I think it'll maybe lead to something. But again, don't get too excited because of what's happened before.
Yeah.
So that was what was really making me anxious. And then when you have to sort of, say to people, it's stressful. Like, that's the stress. Whereas if they had just gone, yeah, here's the contract, let's do it, bingo, I would chill out. And I think now that that's settled, other things are settling, I can kind of relax a wee bit,
Yeah.
So I'm feeling all right. Do you feel a change of energy since you first met me, or what do you
feel
think?
like you feel a wee bit more accomplished. I think when I first came down here, you were a wee bit nervous
Yeah.
doing it all, but now you're a wee bit more.
Yeah, no, I think so. Whenever we first, because obviously I didn't know you really when we first met. I just seen you online. I'd seen you, and whenever you're on one, you're on one, you know. And I thought to myself, will I be able to? Because again,
I know I haven't even went off one.
No, not yet. But I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
You know, when it happens, I'm ready.
Yeah.
But I would do this podcast mostly by myself.
Yeah.
So I'm used to, again, a wee bit similar. I would go off on one, whatever. So when I've had guests on, I've always said I want it to be a chat. You know, so it's not like, what have you done this here? Where did you come from? What, so I sort of want it to be more of a, like, having a coffee, having a chat.
Yeah.
And I think now, at the beginning, because I didn't really know you that well, I wasn't sure, would you be wild? Would you be... But I found you to, like, we get on great. So it's easy to have a conversation with you now. Yeah. So now I'm like, just you work away, chat away, and it's all good. So it definitely am more relaxed now. Also didn't have Aaron Butler over there winding everything up. Yeah. So, I think it's grand. That's all good. And you're like, look at you, comfortable. Like, first time you were like this, but closed body language. Now you're...
I know, now I'm wide open.
There you go. And that's us. So you have it. All nice. And since we first spoke, last time you were on, you were talking about you have a book.
Yeah.
Going to publishing at that stage.
Yeah.
Do you have an announcement?
Well, Finding Wendy, I did publish it. And I've sold loads of copies. I actually sold loads in the first 24 hours, so I'm all buzzed and I'm glad I'm going to write my second book soon.
Nice. Can I have a look at it?
Yes. I brought that down for you.
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Catherine.
I will. Oh, and it's signed as well. I was going to ask you to sign it. And there you go.
See, now if you put that away one day, it might be worth money.
Listen, if I've anything to do with it, it will be. No, and so let me just say, you just said there is it for Catherine?
Well, both obvious. You come as one. You come as one.
Well, not really. Sometimes, usually it's me, but I'll pass that, and she'll read that. She's big into her books.
Yeah.
And it's signed too. To Catherine from Glasgow.
now.
Yeah. So for anyone, where can people get it?
Amazon.com.
Nice.
Finding Wendy.
And I can use this then if people are asking, about you. I can be like, well, Glenn is an Northern Irish fortune teller and psychic.
Yeah.
Have we spoken about fortune telling yet? Or has it been mediumship and psychics?
I don't think we have really spoken about fortune telling.
Right. So say, because this is our first public podcast, if anyone wants to see more, go to Patreon. There's loads over there. The Psychic and Stand Up is going to be your new favourite podcast, by the way. But for anyone that's new to this and hasn't heard of Glenn before, introduce yourself to the new audience.
I am a fortune teller and I'm a psychic and I'm a wee bit unhinged sometimes, but I like the fortune telling aspect, and I'm glad you brought that up, because the very first reading I ever got was from a wee woman called Anne, and she was a tea leaf reader, and everything she said came true. These are tea leaves.
I see. And was that at that point, did you think you were into it at all, or was it after that?
Well, I was into it before that, but I just love the fortune telling side because it helps you move further on in life. I had no interest in anything else really. And
so what's the difference then between psychic, fortune teller, medium?
Fortune teller can tell you everything that's going to happen in your life, really. Can tell you where you're going to go wrong, where you're going to go right.
Right, and you've said to me before, was the sugar thing, which I'm on top of now, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you see good fortune for me? Should I chill out and just enjoy things a bit more, or do you see bad fortune?
I think you need to put your hand in your pocket more, Dave, because I do feel like when you stop the flow of money, it stops it. It's like a river that needs to flow.
Well, mister, before you go into that, we actually had a chat, me and her indoors this week. She goes to me, can you stop giving me all your money? And I said, what do you mean? She goes, anytime you get paid for it, you just give it to me and then you have nothing. And I'm like, hey. So the opposite's happened this week. I said to her, I'll keep some of my money because I'm too generous. So is that maybe, have you got mixed vibes there?
See, now, Dave, you're starting up for yourself.
See, they have it. So that's it. And or is that maybe why you're saying that I need to reach into my pocket more, because we're maybe looking at doing a project together and you're looking at a good fee. Yep. You're looking at a big fee.
Exactly.
And so what then do you see? Because obviously a lot of times I still, because I'm new to being a full time whatever this, I'm uncomfortable sometimes describing myself. I say I'm just a full time comedian, whether that's a writer or whatever, a podcaster. Say comedian. And there's nights that I get stressed about stuff. I'm a wee fucking electrons fire in my brain, and I'm fucking sitting up all night going, what can I be doing here? Where should I be? This and that. Can you tell me anything that'll settle my nerves, or should I just be like more worried?
Just trust the process. Everything always happens. Worrying doesn't slow anything down, doesn't speed it up. It only just gets in the way.
Will I be happy?
Are you not happy now?
I am happy now, but will I be happy with where I want to be? Do you think?
Yes, hopefully.
Oh, what's the hopefully there?
Well, there might be something else in once you get there. You might go, right, I want that now.
Right, okay. So
it might be this never-ending goal business, this never-ending path.
So do you think I struggle then with maybe destinations? And
no, I think you strive for greatness, and it's something that happens every day.
I'm gonna put that on a poster. Greatness.
See now?
Yeah, but would you say to more people they need to enjoy the journey rather than
yes,
the
you need to live in the present moment, enjoy right now, what's going on right now. Stop anticipating what you're doing next week or next year.
Yeah, see, I'm bad for that.
Because sometimes it never happens. Never fucking happens.
And then what about yourself? Or how do you view your fortunes at the minute? Can you self feel things, or do you have other? Because I've noticed that, like when we put a podcast out for talk's sake, it's shared, and you notice other people that are maybe involved in the psychic world or share things out, and do other people read? Is it like hairdressers? When a hairdresser doesn't cut their own hair?
Well, I don't really get readings that much because I only would get a reading whenever I have. Anytime I've needed a reading, I've had man trouble. To be honest, that's the only time, and it's really, really when I've needed it. But I prefer not really to get a reading. But I do have some psychic friends that do what I do, and we do create things together. Like.
And in terms of the men trouble, have you had any recent men trouble? Are you all right? Because last time we spoke, you were kind of like taking a break from them.
Well, Dave, one thing it is annoying me. Why is it the most alpha, straightest of men tattoos ever? Write me it. Why do they always? Why do they come to me? They come to me.
To you?
They come to me, Dave, okay. And then they end up like there, and I end up stroking them, and they end up sleeping. Why does that always happen? Why am I the mummy?
Let me ask you, when you say stroking them, and then they end up sleeping, are you stroking them, or are you stroking them like...
Well, both. Well, usually they stroke me, but...
Yeah, well, because I'm saying...
Why do they always have to be the baby? Why can't I be the baby?
See, maybe, listen, this is why we're a good team, Glenn, because, we'll work on each other. What I would say is that maybe they think that they're this hard, and you think they're going to be, but then whenever they're with you, they just don't want to be how they're perceived. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, they want to be more submissive.
So maybe you need to get somebody that's...
more dominant.
That's not on the initial level like this. You need to get somebody, and then secretly they're a bit more.
Yeah.
And have you ever come across somebody that's surprised in that way, or is it
completely surprising? This is what I mean. Like really, I think all human beings want to be loved. To be honest.
And there's a run of
and I'm starting to really realise that now.
Is there a run of guys that you've been like, I'm sick of mothering these fucking...
Fuck all of them.
Would you tell them be more like a man, be more of a man?
Well, no, I try not to hurt people's feelings, to be honest.
But maybe it's just what you need sometimes.
Yeah.
Because there's been times now, if I've done something like in like each person's different. So you bring somebody in, and maybe you're getting the maybe we'll just use the phrase cuddling. Maybe you're having a bit of cuddling. And what maybe a cuddle worked with somebody else mightn't work.
Yeah.
Everyone's wired differently, so maybe you just need to say, listen, you're not coming here to be...
Lately, they're just wanting to fucking hug me and cuddle me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. And is there anyone there that you're like, fuck, I'll put up with this cuddling because I see more in it? Or is he just like, no, this is just what it is. I'm sick of this cuddling. Wake up and let's fucking go. Get some rebel in you.
I don't... Well, for a start, they're not even fucking properly gay, and they're too afraid to come out, some of them. So this is the other thing too, and I'd sometimes be like, right, what have you done? Go home and fix it. Do this, rub her feet, treat her better. While fucking cuddling them at the same time. Know what I mean? I just give everything.
So, hold on. So, are you saying there's a guy, because there's somebody we're going to get on our own podcast and ask about who has a more, I say, modern approach to sexuality.
Yeah.
So...
It's bisexual?
Well, I mean, I don't know. He would say not, but then he'd be like, well, I could be with the guy, it's fine. And what did he say? He's like, he said that, like, if you, say you're a guy and you do something with another fella, he goes, that doesn't automatically make you gay. Same way as if you eat meat, but you have a vegetarian dinner, that doesn't make you a vegetarian.
Yeah.
That'd be his view on it. I would sort of think that if, maybe it's because I'm of an older school, that if you go with a guy, you are at least a bit gay or bisexual. Well, I think that, because I think, but again, it's not, I don't...
Well, the thing is about being gay, like, say if they're not doing you right, you can just flip them on their back and do it your own way.
Yeah. But do you think then there are guys who are these guys gay? And are they with somebody?
I don't
Are they
think
with
they're
women?
gay. I
Are
just
they
feel like
bisexual?
they don't understand women, and they don't understand themselves.
So do you think that's maybe a self-reflection needed on these guys?
Possibly.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you know,
They think I'm harsh any other time, really, really harsh. They don't want to listen to them when their own lives are burning. I am the cold fire, the cold water that puts the fire out.
and is that like a euphemism or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Take it any way you want that.
Yeah, because they say there's plenty of ways to skin a cat.
There is.
So
There definitely is.
So how do you send these guys home apart from tired?
Usually by, how do I send them home? By going on about work or start, I don't know. I've got life, I've got things to do now.
But let me obviously it's
I scare them away anyway.
Yeah.
They run away anyway. All I have to do is be too spiritual or too deep.
But see, with these, would there be any of these fellas you were talking about any potential in them? Would you like to see more than just, a couple?
No, not really, because everything's all right in small doses. Haven't met the right person, but I've only just realised lately that I actually do control their minds.
Yeah.
Like actually control their minds.
And are you then pushing them away? You think?
Well, I'm not wanting them to. I'm not being demanding. I'm not wanting. Like I think they would love me to run after them. People would love me to squeal after them, but I don't.
Do you think you need someone that's going to just?
Right, Glenn, what
boss
about
you?
you? Aye.
Yeah.
I would love somebody to maybe just, I don't know, not boss me about, because I would end up fucking leaving them because I don't like that. But someone to be a wee bit
Assertive.
more assertive, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right. This is what, because not an argument. Again, it's just something that happens. I think when you're married or settled with somebody or you're whatever. What are you having for dinner? Oh, I don't know. What do you want?
Don't ask me what I'm eating. And this
Yeah.
is the other thing. This is why there was a wee fella I was talking to her for ages, and I felt like every fucking day I was telling him what I was eating, what I was doing, and honestly, everything he ate, have it that way. Or do you know what? I like my tuna salad a certain way after eating it for 34 years. I'm not having anybody coming along trying to organise me.
And what did you? Was that an ick? Were you just like, listen, stop fucking telling me? Were you
This
listen?
was just somebody that I'd just been talking to and had met a wee bit, but
Yeah.
I can't win.
No, because with that it seems like was it the attraction was there and then his chat was shit? Was it just shit chat?
It was
generally?
him trying to tell me how to live my life, him having an overview of me already in his brain that he wasn't prepared to compromise with. Boo! I'm not what you think.
Yeah, so that bit he's bent off, is he?
He blocked me, you see. I manifested him out of my life by him blocking me.
Right, okay. And what did he block you on?
Instagram, everything, WhatsApp. Because I told him, I asked him how he was, because we've been chatting, Justin. I like to be friends with people, him like 2 months. And we've been chatting, and then he was like, oh, I miss you, want to hug you and all. I was like, relax.
Was it Aaron
I've been out
Butler?
with my granny. No, it wasn't Aaron Butler. Aaron Butler, no, it wasn't him, no.
Okay, good.
Definitely not yet anyway. And then I don't know, he fucking blocked me. He says, well, the message is clear now, and he blocked me. So this is the whole thing. See, he wasn't getting his own way there and then. I don't rush into anything with anybody, and if I do, it's a big fucking red flag, and I'll be the bull to the red flag.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he did block me in a way, because he wasn't taking no for an answer, kind of.
Yeah, but so you had just yourself. So
I can see all the controlling me things though.
Yeah.
All the narcissism it can come in the form of gifts, presents, someone trying to know you better than you know you. No, take time to get to know me, mate. Turn your brain cells on.
Right, and then so this is where I'm confused now, because obviously if you're manifesting him to block you,
Well, I manifested him out of my life, yeah. I
right?
did.
Okay, is it a closed door, or could in the future things change, and could you?
For that person, I don't feel so for that person, because he's blew it now in that sense. But if he had to listen to me, all I was saying was slow the fuck down. I've got a career, I've got a life, my clients come first, I come first. I'm not always just available like a puppet on a string like I am for everybody, and I'm certainly not doing that for a boyfriend. If I have to make conversation and explain myself, it ain't working.
And what's his, like, what did he work in?
Well,
You know,
he's in
what's his job?
Thailand, so I don't fucking know.
So is he living here, or is
He
he
lives
just on
here, yeah.
holidays?
No, he's a lovely fella, really, really lovely fella,
Yeah.
but just different. We're just very, very different ways, and I feel like he's very judgy-wudgy in a sense. Sees me as this smick character that doesn't have a brain in here, more than what he bargained for.
Yeah. And look, the body language, he's riled you. He's riled you. So I think
I'm raging because he blocked me a wee bit, because
Yeah.
I'm being honest, if we had been friends with him, who knows what would have happened in the future.
Yeah.
I'm just not, because I'm not, I'm in my 20s, I don't know what he actually expects. There's no
was
maturity.
he a bit younger? Was he?
No, he was the same age as me, but it was just a lack of immaturity. And I knows him way doing readings, for example, texting, I'm home from work now, I'm home.
Yeah. And does shit like that affect then your ability to do readings?
No, it's like, I'm not explaining to you what I'm doing right now because you know what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah.
Better off just bugging me. Better off just putting a fucking tracker on me, and then you can go, my God, the universe is lying to me, because I still don't trust him. Guess what? You can't trust what you don't understand.
And you think is that a problem? Do you think?
Yeah.
Like when you're dating guys, is trust an
Big
issue?
time. Well, it's not the trust, it's confidence. See if they're not confident, see if they're the slightest bit insecure, it doesn't work. Because I feel like I have to dull myself away down, dim my lights away down, just so I don't blame them.
Yeah.
No, fuck off.
No, see, that's it. You need somebody that'll shine alongside
Make
you.
me sparkle, yeah.
There you go. And is there anyone you're talking to at the minute, or are you just like, since him, you're like, fuck that, I need a break?
Nah, the one that was cuddling like a baby, that was different from the one that was like wanting a ring with me.
So we'll call the Thai guy and then the cuddler.
Yeah.
So the Thai guy, was he single?
Yeah.
Cuddler, no?
Cuddler, I
Oh,
don't
dear.
really know. It's kind of complicated there.
Let me just say, is he from Narnia, if you know what I mean?
To be honest, I think he likes it in Narnia because I don't really fucking know. But see, to be honest, this is the whole thing, confusing, because it's not just, it's like people you know for years and years sometimes. And when then they're all over you like that, they're like, it's really not just one bam thing. In fact, it's the opposite of that. It might be masked as that, but it's fucking the opposite. It's Glenn therapy. It's me being the fucking, I don't know, queen.
And do you think he needs to come out of
No,
there?
definitely not, no.
Do you think he's a bisexual man, or do you think he's...
I think he just, I don't really know, in a sense. But I can fully understand why a man needs a woman, why a man wants a woman. I can fully understand that, and it's genius, really. It's smart. But then I can understand why also men would be afraid to be gay. I also understand why anybody would be afraid to come out and say, Glenn Gordon's my boyfriend. I would be fucking terrified to go out with me. I would, I'm just saying. But
do you think, though, I think you were probably, I think you're more of a teddy bear than you let on.
I am,
yeah,
definitely.
I think that once you, I don't want to say put you on a lead, because I don't think you need to be tamed. I don't think you would like to be tamed. I think if you get put in a lead,
I'd fucking eat them.
You'd lash out, but I think you need to have a lion that'll prowl alongside you.
Yeah,
I think you
definitely.
need to have two. Like that. I don't think that someone's going to come in, and I
Yeah.
think no matter what, then you need somebody that's going to. You need somebody like Steve Irwin. You need
Is
to.
he good looking?
Well, no, he's dead, but he. Was the crocodile hunter.
Yes.
So rather than he comes in.
Oh yes, there's a shark in the water.
Yeah, so rather than him coming in and like putting you in, you just come in and live with you. You
Yeah.
know, so rather than
Well, that's it. I think I just need someone that's going to evolve into my life. Do you know what I mean? Drive me around, come to events for me, make sure hold the camera while I'm being filmed.
Yeah, so I think that's it. Fit in rather than amend.
Well, this is it. I was thinking about this morning. Like, see, years ago, I've been in 2 relationships, and to be honest with you, there's a couple of people that I've been with too, and I've been ready to move away and give my whole life up and do everything. And do you want to know something? See, right now, I just put my... No, I really would not see, unless you're going to come and be part of my life.
Yeah.
I am not just going to drop... Why the fuck would I?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Do you know what I mean?
Now, a couple of questions.
Yes.
We're going to get on these here, and I've put it on airplane mode. One question, the first question, which I've not seen if there's any more yet, because I only popped it on this morning. But the first question was, I'd say 10 out of 10. I'll leave with you. It's from Jordan, right? And she said, can ghosts and spirits leave real life objects for us to find? My gran died, and one night I was so upset, crying. I dreamt she was on the bed stroking my hair, and I slept, and I woke up, and her hair roller was in the middle of the room on my carpet. No lie.
Of course, absolutely, of course. This is why I also say someone's possessions, whenever somebody passes away, keep it, you're meant to keep it, get ready, because believe you me, they want a fire, they want it, burnt, because objects hold energy, in a sense. But this tell me to love that you need to let your hair down and stop crying. You do, actually. That's why she was brushing your hair, you know what I mean? And in a non-banshee type of way, it means she's very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign.
It's a very good sign.
And has there ever been anything where you have experienced that yourself, like real life things that...
Yes, things flying across the room. I mean, it is real. You should never really actually poke anything like that. You shouldn't, because you think it's not real. You really, really think it's not real. And I'm being honest, everybody's in their own individual reality. You'll be fucked up because things are happening to you and you're seeing things, no one else is seeing it.
I see. So that's good. That was a good question, though, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Let me see. This other classic one that people always ask. I'm sure you'll know them already. What do you say to people like that? Just go fuck off.
What?
You should know the question already. What's this guy? He's called Chris. Let me show you what he looks like.
Show me what he looks like.
And I want you to tell me a story about him.
Oh, he's smart. He went to college. Oh, ho. But he wonders why he can't interact with people. It's his own fucking fault. You know what? See, you get these know-it-all people. See, these know-it-all people that fucking know everything, but know nothing.
They have it.
And by the way, I also that you need to be more giving with your females. You need to be more giving.
There you go.
Do you see some of these men and they're like, oh my God, you're not having sex with me. I'm not a fucking pogo stick. Oh. Not a mate.
A
Get
pogo
the
stick?
fucking dick out now, right?
Do you think some guys are take themselves too seriously?
Oh my God, yes. Mr. Sophisticated.
But really, what you're saying then in that instant, you need to get your pogo stick out. more.
Mammal. Be a mammal now.
Consensually, though, you don't
Yes.
just whip your pogo stick out, because you know what? I've never heard it described as a pogo stick before, but I like it because a
Yeah.
pogo stick is a stick that you.
Jump on. And that's implying you're doing the work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And how do? What about that then? Is because since you're whipping it out, do you think that guys need to do more work?
Oh, definitely. I think that need to be more with women anyway. They need to be more hands on, face on, rather than their thing, because their thing's not really. It's not that much of a magic wand.
No. There's other like this is going to be a name of the podcast. Plenty of ways to skin a cat.
Plenty of ways to skin a cat.
At the end of the day, when you have a cat skinned, I was going to say you have you don't have a happy pussy, you have a dead pussy. To be fair, shit, that's the worst analogy of all time history. Well, anyway, so where can people find you, Glenn? Because we have to go on. We're in demand here. We have to go and do another
At
podcast.
Psychic Glenn. You can find me on every platform at Psychic Glenn, except for Twitter, which is at Glenn Gordon _.
You know what? Yeah, because I tried to tag you in that when I put a question call out earlier, but I couldn't find you, and then I thought, see if he's blocked me on Twitter, we're going to fall out.
No,
So
definitely
no.
not. At Glenn Gordon _.
And Finding Wendy.
Yes.
It's available on
Amazon.com.
Amazon. Give us a wee quick synopsis.
Well, I
of
was
it.
heavily drug addicted, really, really on the wrong path. And to be honest, if something didn't shift in at that point in my life, it centralises in just around 30, before 30. And the realisations and the coming of age, it's powerful. Powerful.
There you go. And in many regards, I inspired this, would you say?
Well, I can't say that now, but...
But you're going to write a book about her.
I was already thinking about this, because honestly, like the next time I write about it, I think I'll maybe be a book called Finding Myself, and honestly, it will be the synchronistic day of the 21st when we're sitting here, me, you and Shane. It's weird, really weird, because 5 years before, I was like,
because I was saying about that on that day, whenever you said about her energies, was your mum and sister were at Robbie Williams in Dublin. I was there
So it's
at
weird, isn't
Erasure, dancing, having a great time, because Erasure are my shit.
see now.
So you go, and actually you've got Robbie Williams tickets for when he's back.
I died and was born again. So nobody was even
Robbie
fucking
Williams?
there. Everybody was away. Nobody could see it. I seen it.
And how does that
myself.
work then in that moment?
Oh, the
Just
old
before we go?
person died, and then
And do you have like, what is that? Is it an epiphany, or what does that look like?
it was a scurry, transcendental, maybe even psychedelic experience.
How did that manifest for you? So how did you know that was the rebirth of you?
I
and the
didn't have common sense before that. I couldn't hear I couldn't hear the voices.
What age were you? 30? Yeah.
Just before I turned 30.
And do you think that had a lot to do with it?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because you know what I see? Again, I'm not a psychic or I'm not a fortune teller, but what I see is a man in front of me who's, you know, your path, you know the journey you're on. You've got your shit together and you're ready to you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. So guys, follow him. Glenn is at Psychic Glenn. Finding Wendy is available now. Amazon.com. Also keep your eye, if you want to see our psychic and stand-up series, which is just us being counsellors really for comedians, check it out on Patreon. We're going to make it public, I think, once we start getting, once we move the studio and we get a bespoke space and everything. It'll be a nice time. But Glenn, as always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Let's go and get a coffee and let's go and see Diona Dougherty.
Yes,
let's go.
Bye.
I'm the sly guy.